Let's get started creating some storage accounts using Azure. Now there's three ways we're actually going to look at doing this. The first way is using the marketplace and the portal. So this is our simplest way. I'm just going to minimize my Azure Cloud Shell. And so we'll go to the marketplace and just type storage. And what this will do is let us find the Microsoft storage account. And you'll see other types of storage accounts in here. The one that we want to use is the Microsoft storage account. So we'll click on that and then go ahead and click create. Now the properties of a storage account are pretty straightforward. You need a name. The name has to be globally unique. So you've got to make sure that this is a name that no one else uses anywhere in the world. For example, if I were to type just storage 1, you can be almost guaranteed someone else is using that name. So what I typically like to do is use my initials. So storage CJH, and that's usually results in it being free. Now you can come up with whatever naming convention works for you. We're going to use a traditional, or I should say resource manager, not a traditional classic deployment model. This is going to be a general purpose storage account. Now, we had talked about the different types of storage accounts. Here's where I'd actually make that choice between general purpose, which can contain disks, tables, and queues, and blob storage. Now, blob storage only on standard, supports hot and cool tiers, and you can enable or disable secure transfer. And then choose the SKU or the type of redundancy that you want. General purpose storage includes blob storage as well, but you'll notice you don't get the option for storage tiering, and we get the option of standard or premium storage. So for premium, we only get locally redundant storage. We don't get geographical redundancy. So this is going to be a storage account that I'm going to use to store just miscellaneous files and objects. So we'll do a standard storage account. We're going to make it zone redundant, which means within the same Azure zone. So within multiple data centers, but close together. We're going to disable secure transfer, and then we're going to create a new resource group called storage. Choose our location, and we're not going to work with the new virtual network preview capability yet. This lets us restrict our storage account. If you recall from some of the things we talked about in the videos, restrict our storage account to only certain IP address subnets or VNets. Actually, in fact, let's go ahead and turn that on. And we're going to, actually, let's leave that turned off because I haven't set up any networks to properly configure it yet. So we'll just leave that turned off and click create. So this will go out and submit the job to create that storage account. Now, while that's happening in the background, we can look at doing the equivalent of that using Azure PowerShell. And so what I've got here now is the Azure Cloud Shell. So I've opened it, I've selected PowerShell, and this gives me access to all the storage account commandlets. I think my session timed out, so we'll actually open that up again. Let that shell load. And let's go ahead and take a look. And so you can see all these standard Azure storage commands are here available. So we're going to create a new storage account. So new Azure RM storage account, and then supply some basic parameters. So we're going to need a resource group name. We've already got one named storage, so we'll just use that one. The name of the storage account. Call this one storage 2 CJH. The SKU name, which I can actually tab complete with PowerShell. So this will be a standard locally redundant. We won't go zone redundant. Location. This needs to match the location of the resource group. And that's actually all we need. So we'll do a standard storage account. So you can actually specify with this PowerShell command, all the configuration parameters that you had in the portal as well. We'll go ahead and just kind of hit enter on that, and that will actually submit the job to create the storage account. Now we're not going to see this up here on our alert notification like we did with the storage account that we created through the portal. We're going to see output down here in the PowerShell window once that storage account is in fact created. So storage account is done. Let's go back to our portal, have a look at our resource groups. Here's the storage resource group. Let's kind of slide some of these guys down out of the way a little bit. And we'll see that I've actually got two different storage accounts now created. I've got the one I created via the portal and also the one I created via PowerShell. Now we can also do this with the Azure Cloud Shell. So I'm going to restart this, and rather than a PowerShell console, we've now got a Bash shell, which has the cross-platform Azure Shell installed. So these are the Linux-style commands that mimic almost all the functionality that you can find within Azure PowerShell, and we can actually use this to create a storage account as well. So we'll let that go ahead and connect. Takes just a minute. And if we type the AZ command, again, you can just begin navigating through all the commands that are available in this shell. So we're going to type AZ storage account create location, the name, the resource group, and then finally the SKU. This is the type of account that we create, the level of redundancy that it has. And we're going to go with a standard locally redundant storage SKU. So we'll hit enter on that. That'll go in and tell Azure to create a third storage account. So that, again, that'll run, takes a couple minutes to create the storage account, and we'll see this third one appear in that resource group. So the output, which is actually an ARM template style output, so this is actually the ARM template results from this command we ran that has all the properties and all the parameters of that storage account. It'll produce that as the output of the command, and that's your indication that it was successful in creating that storage account. So if I come up and refresh the resource group, here now I've got my third storage account available to me. So that's three different ways that you can go in on Azure and get started and create a new storage account.